My favorite way to make salmon. Today, I'm going to show you how to make blackened salmon. Hi, my name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to my kitchen, friends. I'm in my kitchen today instead of my sister's kitchen, if you haven't noticed. Just mixing it up. Carrie was actually busy today, so that's why I'm just filming here. So today, I'm going to show you how to make the best blackened salmon. Now, if you have ever made salmon at home before, you already know that it's not hard. And if you haven't, I'm here to tell you it is so easy and so delicious. All right, give me a shout out if you just saw the puppy tail. That was Rio, my puppy. And if you're new here, my sister and I have sibling puppies, Rosie and Rio, and they like to make appearances in the video. Okay, let's get started with this easy salmon recipe. Now let's get these bad boys ready to cook. So first you want to start with a little bit of oil. I am using vegetable oil. Take 1 tablespoon and just drizzle it over the salmon, and then use a basting brush to kind of rub it in. So lack of a better word, I like to say this is kind of the glue for your seasoning. It's going to hold the seasoning onto the salmon. And you got to be real careful because I got some on my shirt already. It's easy to do. This is why we should wear aprons, but you know, we don't. We like to look cute, so it is what it is. All right, after you get one side, go ahead and flip it over, and you want to do the same thing on the other side of the salmon with that oil. So I just drizzled the remaining oil on the salmon, and then with your basting brush, just rub it all around to make sure that it's well coated. Now it's time to coat them with the seasoning. So for today, I'm using Blackened Seasoning. So there's 2 options for this, friends. You can either make your own. I'm going to link the recipe in the description below, of course. We have a recipe to make your own at home. It's super easy, and I think we also have a YouTube video on it as well. And you can also now buy a store-bought version. There's a ton of options out there. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at your local grocery store, wherever. So we're going to link that in the description below for you as well. So for 4 salmon fillets, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of blackened seasoning. It's about a half a tablespoon per fillet, but I don't you could go to the links to measure it out, but I just kind of sprinkle it on top and then rub it in again with the basting brush. And we're going to do both sides. And it is going to be pretty heavy to get that true blackened flavor. If you're not familiar with blackened, it's kind of like a Cajun Creole seasoning. It's so good. It's got a little spice, but not too bad. I have a younger daughter who's sensitive to spice, but she still likes blackened. But the trick, and we're going to talk about this at the stovetop, is to cook it on a super high heat. So I'm just sprinkling it on top, and then I'm just kind of taking my brush now and pressing it in to make sure that it stays in onto the salmon so that it doesn't just fall off when I pick it up to put it onto the grill. So we don't want to rub it around, just kind of press it into the salmon. One side down. Now we're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. So be careful when you flip it this time because you don't want to fling all of that seasoning off because that's what really gives it its flavor. Now, if you're nervous about the spiciness of the seasoning, you can do less or you can do more. If you're like, Christina, I love spice. I want all the spice. Hey, I'm with you. I get it. Amp it up. Do as much or as little as you like. So this is the other side again. Just kind of press it down. Make sure you don't rub it or you're going to get it all off. I'm just pressing it down so it doesn't fling off when we move it into our skillet. So now it's time to get this cooking. We are going to preheat a cast iron skillet over high heat. So you want to use a cast iron for blackened foods just because you need the heat to get really, really high. And it's the only pan that I know of that can really handle that heat. Now, if you have a Blackstone grill, you can do this recipe on there as well, or maybe even a Blackstone grill plate, and that will work great because those pans can handle the heat. So we're just going to let this get preheated, I say, get the pan nice and hot before we add in the salmon. So you will know when the pan is ready because there will be smoke coming off of the pan. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's kind of billowing out of the center of the pan. Now we're going to use another tablespoon of oil, but based on the size of my pan, it's smaller. I'm going to cook my salmon in batches. So I'm just going to pour half that oil into the pan. Be really careful again because it is hot, guys. Once the oil's added, add in your salmon. And again, I'm doing it in batches. So I'm going to do 2 at a time. You want to place it into the pan and then let it sit for 3 minutes. I recommend timing it. You want it to sit and not move to get that nice blackened crust on it. So it's been cooking for 3 minutes, and now we're going to flip it. Oopsie! Good sign. I got to be real careful here. Now we're going to let it set on the other side and cook for about 2 to 3 minutes as well. And the same thing. Now, it's really black, and that's fine because it is blackened salmon. It is supposed to be black in nature, but just stay close because it doesn't take long to cook. So it's been cooking for a few minutes now. Sorry, I had to put my air vent on, so if you see that. Now, I like to check the internal temperature of salmon. Now, I like mine to be about 145. Everybody is a little different, but that's a good starting point. And then if you like yours a little rare, adjust it from there. So what I'm going to do is just steam it a bit by putting a lid on the pan. This is just a lid I have for another pan because cast irons generally don't come with lids. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit so it doesn't get too brown and let it cook like this until it reaches that internal temperature. Okay, so I just wanted to check in on these. They've been cooking a few more minutes. Put your meat thermometer right into the biggest part of it, and I just like mine to be over 145. Once they reach that temperature, just remove them and put them on a clean plate. The fabulous IT guy said, make sure to grab them by the thickest part so they don't fall apart. So that's a good tip, right? Good tip. Okay, these are done. Now let's get that second batch in the skillet. I'm just going to add that remaining oil. Then add those fillets right in. And remember, let them sit without moving for at least 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes. Then we're going to carefully flip them. Make sure it has a good, nice blackened. Don't grab it by the little thing. Flip it over. And we're going to get a nice blackened char on the other side as well. Now, some people might say that that looks burnt, but that's just blackened. To get a true blackened flavoring, you want that nice char. So you got to let it set and not flip it to get that effect. So it's been cooking for 3 minutes. Now we're going to do the same exact thing where you check the internal temperature. This one's reading pretty good. Make sure you get in the center and the thickest part. That one's reading done, the smaller fillet, and this one, some parts are reading done, some's not. So I'm going to put this lid on and just let it cook for probably about another minute to steam it through to make sure it gets all the way cooked through. Let's check it again. Ooh, it's looking good. Anytime you see the white coming up to the top, that's always a good sign that it's about done. But I always like to double check it. That's reading 149. This is reading 150. Oh, yeah, good. Because I don't like my salmon super raw. I want it flaky and delicious. Okay, so these are reading done. We're just going to add those to our clean plate of finished salmon. Just be real careful because when it's cooked through, it should be nice and flaky. And as you guys saw with my first batch, they fall apart quickly. All right, let them set just to cool a little bit because they will be hot from that hot skillet. All right, only thing else to do is to enjoy it. Let's talk about some serving options. My favorite thing to serve with blackened anything, fish, shrimp, chicken, is Alfredo. I love it with like a delicious Alfredo sauce. It's just a combination of the creamy, cheesy sauce with the blackened seasoning that I love. But you can also serve this with rice. You can serve it with potatoes, with mashed potatoes. Like, it's really limitless. And of course, if you wanted to be super healthy, you can serve it over salad. Oh, I'm cooking some potatoes right now, and it sounds like they're almost ready. My favorite part, it's time, guys, for trying it. So salmon, when you cook it at home, it should flake easily. So when we say flake easily, you don't need a knife. You just need a fork to eat it. And it should just rip into bite-sized pieces. I love the seasoning. It's so good and it's so delicious. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in my kitchen. I hope I inspired you to make food at home to save money instead of hitting the drive-thru or going out to a restaurant. And I hope I inspired you to try to cook salmon at home. It's not complicated. I promise. It's easier to make than chicken, I think. Now, the leftovers on these, they will keep for about 3 to 4 days in your refrigerator, so you can eat on this all week long. It makes the best lunch. Don't forget, I've linked this recipe in the description below. After you try it out, please leave us a comment and let us know what you think. We love hearing you guys. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I think you can still subscribe at the top on YouTube, so you will always be notified and never miss one of our easy recipes. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.